Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to the Luscious.life. I'm Lucia. I hope you've had a wonderful week so far. Today isn't the most luscious topic, but it's really an important one to me and to many. And I wanted to talk about grief. In the last 5 years, I've lost some really amazing people in my life. And I've had a lot of friends lose their parents, and it can be overwhelming, and everybody deals with it in a different way. I'm not sure anybody ever just gets over it, but life does have to move on, and it is for the living. And it depends on how it happens. If it's a prolonged sickness, if it's an accident, if it's a suicide. There's so many things. And I know for some of my friends, watching their parents be sick for a really, really long time is painful. And it's hard and it takes a toll. I know for me, I wouldn't want anybody to watch me suffer. But I do know that I've seen some people lose themselves and they get stuck and they don't move on from the grief. And I don't think your loved one would want you to suffer. That's my belief, my true belief. I don't believe in saying get over it, but you do need to move on. And you do need to try and focus, if possible, on the memories, the good memories. I like to. With our friends, we talk about the person who's passed and we laugh and we talk about the good memories. Depending on what your belief is, then you'll be with them again. No one's come back from the dead to say, hey, it was terrible. So maybe they're in a better place. Who knows? Somebody said to me, maybe hell is on earth, or maybe heaven's on earth. It's whatever you make it. So that's something to ponder. Live your best life and try to make them proud. One thing, I think you have to feel your pain. So write it out, have a good cry, go get grief counseling if necessary. And I think that it's definitely necessary if it's a sudden death out of the blue or a suicide. And if you have any guilt around that, you don't want to carry that. So you want to get help from a professional. One thing I saw at a friend's funeral, And I'm very sad she's gone, because I often will go to call her. I've kept her number in my phone because I want to tell her something really funny, and then I realize she's not here. And that one kicks me quite a bit. Actually, all the people that were taken, I don't know what the right word is there, were amazing. And then you wonder, well, how come there's some not so nice people on the planet that are still here? But that's not for me to understand or know. I like to believe they're all together drinking fabulous wine and having the best time and looking out for us. But anyway, back to at the funeral for my one friend, I saw there was so many people crying, but I knew why they were crying. And they weren't crying that she was gone per se. They were crying because they had treated her poorly and she didn't deserve it. And they had guilt. So if there's somebody you need to make amends with, that it matters to you, make amends. Forgiving doesn't mean you're weak. Forgiving doesn't mean they're right. It's just moving on instead of it's like, what's that famous saying? Drinking anger and is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. Or while you're out being pissed off, the other person's out dancing. So if there's something you want to clear up, then clear it up. I mean, listen, there's a ton of family members that people don't talk to anymore for various reasons, and some are very valid, and I don't blame them whatsoever. But if it's something silly, maybe fix it so that when you go, you don't have any regret in your heart. You know, I don't really know a lot about our family. My cousin, though, was talking to my mother, and she lost both her parents within a month. And I can't imagine how hard that is, because she was close to them and she liked them and she loved them. So that's different from my friends who don't have close relationships with their parents. So everybody's got stuff going on. Everybody's got a story. But if you want to clear your conscience, just be right with your friends. And, you know, I have had some friends who have had some dark thoughts, and I've had to release any grief on if something happens to them, because I have tried my best and I try to give positive feedback and advice, but I'm not a doctor and I don't pretend to be a doctor. So, you know, all you can do is be a support as best you can, and that's all you can do. But deal with your grief. Write it out, seek help, cry. It's okay to cry. I have not fully shown my emotions to my friends on the losses I have felt because I don't really like sharing my emotions. So I write. And occasionally when I don't, what happens is I will act out. So maybe one too many mailbacks, and then I will just go off the rails and act out. That's not something I'm proud of. So that's why I write every single day, is to get anything. The good, the bad, the ugly. I write it all. It helps so that it's not sitting around in your monkey brain. So if you have suffered any loss lately, I'm sorry. Try to remember the good and try to make right by your life. And I'll see you all next week. Have a wonderful week. Subscribe, like, write down in the comments what you do to deal with your grief and your pain. And if you need some support, we can give you that too. Take care. Stay blessed.